Hi guys, let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 10. It says draw the graph of equation x plus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. From the graph find x1 the value of x when y is equal to 3. Perfect. So this is another second type of a question which can be expected from this chapter. Let's draw the graph first and then we'll see what to do. So x plus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. So let me write it in the form 2y is equal to 3 minus x, y is equal to negative x by 2 plus 3 by 2, y is equal to negative x by 2 plus 1.5. This is basically it. My slope is negative, so it will slide this way, and my c, which is y-intercept, is 1.5, which means it will pass from somewhere here. This is 1, this is 1.5, somewhere here it will pass from. Let's look at this question. So if x is equal to 1, y will be equal to negative half plus 1.5, which is 1. Correct? Yes. If x is equal to 1, y will also be equal to 1. Perfect. If x is equal to, let's say, 3, y will be equal to negative 3, y will be equal to negative 3 by 2 plus 1.5, which is negative 1.5 plus 1.5, which is equal to 0. So if x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. And let's look at the third value. If x is equal to negative 1, y will be equal to negative 1 upon 2, negative of negative 1 upon 2 plus 1.5, which is half plus 1.5, which is 2. So if this is negative 1, this is 2. Perfect. So now let's plot these points. 1 with 1. Perfect. Next is 3 with 0. Done. And negative 1 with 2. So there are 3 points that I have plotted very close to each other. And this line goes like, let me extend it slightly more on this side and slightly more on this side as well. Done. The line that I have plotted is x plus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. Now let's look at the part in it. x1, the value of x when y is equal to 3. So they want us to calculate the value of x from the graph. Notice in any case, whenever it's given, it clearly says using the graph. Do not substitute values in the equation and find the value. You will clearly get 0 marks. The question clearly says from the graph, find the value of x when y is equal to 3. So where is y is equal to 3? This is the point where y is equal to 3. So from here, I draw a perpendicular onto the line, the graph that I have. I draw a perpendicular here, and let's see where it meets, and from there I draw a perpendicular down. Again, where did I start from? I started from y, so I put an arrow here, and where did I reach? I reached x. The value here is negative 3. Perfect. Yes, the value is negative 3, so I write 1 when y is equal to 3, x is equal to negative 3. You have to show this in the graph. We started from y is equal to 3. We drew a perpendicular onto this line, and from there we went down onto the x-axis. Arrow important, which shows where we are. If you want, you can also write this as x1 because this is what is given in the question. Next part. Find the value of x2, which is the value of x when y is equal to negative 2. So they are saying find the value of x when y is equal to negative 2. So here this is y is equal to negative 2. I draw a perpendicular from this onto this graph, and here I reach this graph, and from there I go up and I reach x-axis. This is in this case 7 and here this they are calling it x2. Again, I started from y-axis, so I put an arrow starting from the y-axis, and I reached the x-axis, so I put an arrow reaching the x-axis. Notice, had I drawn it the straight line using a scale, this value would have been much clearer. I repeat, you have to use the graph to do it. Do not substitute values to get this answer. So when y is equal to -2, x is equal to 7. This is from this graph. Now let's look at the last question from this exercise that we do. The last question from this exercise is question number 11. Let me change the color of the pen so that it's visible to as a different line. This is draw the graph of the equation 3x minus 4y is equal to 12. So let me first make the equation. 4y will be equal to 3x minus 12. Y will be equal to 3 by 4x minus 12 upon 4, that's 3. So I know my slope is 3 by 4, which means it's slanting upwards like this, and it will pass through -3 because that's my y-intercept. So if x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 3 by 4 into 0 minus 3, which is equal to -3. So x is equal to 0, y is equal to -3. That's my part number. So this is my first one. If x is equal to, now since the denominator is 4, I should take values of x as multiples of 4. So if x is equal to 4, y will be equal to 3 by 4 into 4 minus 3, which is 3 minus 3, which is 0. So this is 4 and 0. And then the last one, if x is equal to -4, right? Y will be equal to 3 by 4 into -4 minus 3, which is -3 minus 3, which is -6. So if x is equal to -4, y is equal to -6. Perfect. Chalo, let's draw this in the graph, and we'll see then the second part of the question. So I have 0 with -3. So this is this point that we're talking about. Next is 4 with 0. And then the last one is -4 with -6. Perfect. Then let's draw this line joining these 3 points. And let's extend it on both sides. Now let's see what the question is. Part 1 of the question is, use the graph to find value of y when x is equal to 4. So when x is equal to 4, y from the graph, I don't have to go anywhere. This is directly passing from here. So this is point y1 because that's what's given in the question. y1 is equal to 0. Correct. X is 4, value of y is 0. Let's look at the second one. If x, so this is y1, if x is 0, what is the value of y2? So x is 0, value of y2 is here, which is -3. They are calling this point y2. Here in this part, I did not have to draw any perpendicular because these are the points which I already had put on the graph, and they are lying on the axis itself. Perfect. Thank you so much. Before I leave, let me mark the homework questions. So homework questions for exercise 26B are as follows. Question number 2, 5 and 7. Question number 3, 1 and 7. Question number 9, question number 12 and question number 13. Question 2, part 5 and 7. Question 3, part 1 and 7. Question number 9, 12 and 13. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.